Hello friends, welcome back to APUSH cramming. You're probably going to take the test in probably tomorrow, 12 hours from now. I wish you good luck, be calm, and let's get started. Right away, I'm going to review periods 1 through 5, and I'll be doing 6 through 9 later. Okay, period 1. It's not really tested on the exam, okay? There's only a few things that you really need to know. So let's get right to it. Maize, so this was grown by natives, Great Plains, Great Basin, those where they lived, and this led to their nomadic lifestyles. We got definitely the Columbian exchange, okay? That's probably one of the most important. Exchange of goods, ideas, diseases, and horses. These horses made the Native Americans really powerful and also nomadic. So impact on Americas, well, natives were eventually fucked. Like, literally ass raped, bro. Not only were they raped, but, like, seriously. These diseases and Europeans really just fucked them up. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, that was how it is, man. Like, on the textbook, they don't say that shit, but it really just fucked them up. Alright, impact on Europe. Well, the potatoes and maize from America led to increased population. In other words, not only did they fuck up Native Americans, but whatever they got from there, it benefited Europe, which is really just fucked up. All right, let's move on. Encomienda system, once again, really fucked up. It's just basically like promising Europeans, so Spanish settlers, amount of lands just so that they can Christianize and use natives as a labor source, which kind of reminds us of, slavery and all that shit again. All right, autonomy, self-rule, just remember what it means. Autonomy, self-rule. Okay, period 2. Once again, kind of shitty for the Native Americans. They really got fucked. Not really tested on. I mean, who the fuck cares? This is 1607. No one fucking knows what happened now. Okay, let's just fucking go on. Okay, period 2. New England colonies. Remember, Puritans, okay? Puritans, purify church. Separatists, separate the church, okay? So from the Puritans, they did not like separatists who wanted to separate from the Church of England. Puritans wanted to purify the Church of England, okay? Remember, there were differences, okay? Middle colonies, out of Syria, what the fuck? Chesapeake colonies, Maryland and Virginia. They grew tobacco, relied on indentured servants. So basically, they were fucking slave owners. Fuck this motherfucking shit. Okay, Pueblo Revolt. Finally, the Native Americans fight back for the fucking Europeans. Let's look at that. Native American rebellion in southwest portion of U.S. And if I remember correctly, they fought back and won for 12 fucking years. Oh shit, only 10 years. But hey, 10 years, fuck the Spanish. Alright, period 2. Enlightenment. Focus on reason and intelligence. So basically, it was kind of like a religious revival. Kind of. People began to separate from the old kind of stupid, retarded ideas and try to look around the world and use science. Not only that, they began to question forms of government. So basically, they got a little bit smarter over time. Okay, mercantilism. You need to know that shit. It's basically a goal to make money for the mother country. In other words, fucking rape the Indians and feed the European fat asses. That's what mercantilism is. Okay, period 3, overview. Not really tested on, although 7 Years' War, American Revolution, and Articles and Constitution. Okay, never mind. It is actually tested upon. Okay, so you need to know some shit for this one. 7 Years' War. Okay, it says French and Indian War, but it's not French versus Indians. It is French and Indians versus British and Indians. So that's the thing that you need to really realize. And also on the DBQ, you can say like tensions between America and England after the French and Indian War, some shit like that. I don't know. Fuck this motherfucker. Okay, period 3. Declaration of Independence. We all know that shit, so fuck it. Articles of Confederation is basically a weak government, okay? It didn't work. Shays' Rebellion clearly showed that this motherfucker didn't work. Okay. Constitution, based on federalism and separation of powers, prevents one branch. So basically, balance, okay? Checks and balances. We all learned that shit a long time ago. Fuck this motherfucker. Oh, shit. Okay, George Washington's farewell address. He basically said, don't form alliances or political parties. And you know what people did? They fucking did those two things, okay? And this really just caused basically all the wars. Oh, my God. Okay, Republican motherhood. That's basically like women raising children and instill Republican values to the children. I don't fucking know. Okay, period 4. As you can see here, okay, we see a beginning of women's rights, feminists, and definitely more rights for people. Okay, period 4, Federalists and Democratic Republicans, they were the first political parties formed in response to Hamilton's financial plan. You know what, fuck it. Okay, period 5. Okay, Louisiana Purchase. This was the decision by Thomas Jefferson when he was holding office. And he was like, this doesn't really follow the Constitution, but I'm going to do it anyway, because you can see a shit ton of land that he gained, bro. That's fucking amazing. Double the size of the U.S. And as you can see, Jefferson switched from strict to loose interpretation. Okay, so the Supreme Court in the early 19th century helped assert federal power of state laws and determine the meaning of the Constitution. Okay, Marbury and Madison, you need to understand that really made the judicial branch, okay? Gibbons versus Ogden, the Supreme Court ruled that the federal government, not the states, controlled interstate trade. So once again, a fight between federal government and states, which will continue on forever because it's just so fucking annoying. Okay, oh, slavery. Oh, positive good. Oh, yeah. Slavery is so positively good. You fucking idiots. Okay, textile machinery. Spinning jenny, I don't even know what the fuck that means. Steam engines allow boat to go against the current. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's so fucking interesting. Interchangeable. Oh my fucking fuck you. Okay, oh my god. American system. Henry Clay system sought to unify the national economy. 3 parts. Bank of U.S. tariffs would want fund internal improvements. Okay, I just wanted to let you know, Democrats want to decrease the tariffs. Republicans wanted raise. And if you see tariffs, you automatically have to know whether it's Democratic or Republican on the test. Connected the North and Midwest more than the South. Migrants for Europe. So Irish, Germans, all the poor, immigration. So East, fuck. Okay, National Bank tariffs and internal improvements. Major political issues, regional interests, trumped national concerns. Federal government attempts to assert authority over states brought resistance and Hartford Convention nullification crisis. The Missouri Compromise. Oh my fucking god. Okay, misery. Think of misery, like actual misery. It's just so sad. Okay, they had a list of compromises. This is compromise of 1820. They have another compromise of 1850, and then another compromise of 1877, which is just so fucking annoying. If they just removed slavery, it would have been so simple, but no, they didn't. So basically, all the compromises are basically just what pussies would do. So we don't even fucking need to read that shit. Okay, period 5, a lot of shit. Okay, let's begin. Manifest does. Holy shit! Look at those titties. God damn, look at those titties. Damn, she's packing it. Okay, so manifest destiny. It was believed that it was the U.S. God-given right to expand, so move west once again, kicking the Native Americans out, ass raping them. Okay, belief on white racial superiority. Very interesting. Mexican-American War. Okay, so, you need to, okay, this was on the test. Wilmot Proviso. This proposed that slavery would be banned in all land gained from Mexican concession. So, which is kind of revolutionary, considering, during this time, white racial superiority, fuck. Okay, Asia. U.S. sought to expand trade to other areas. Matthew Perry, I didn't even fucking see him on the test. Fuck you all. New legislation promoting national development during and after the Civil War. The Homestead Act. 160 acres of land encouraged westward settlement. Once again, this was fueled by the Manifest Destiny. Okay, moral land grant, once again, the Manifest Destiny. Abolitionist, small portion of the North, although highly visible, may use many methods against slavery, including fierce arguments, helping slaves run away, violence. How was slavery defended in the South? So it was positive good. Oh my fucking god. Fuck you, John C. Calhoun. Fuck you. I wish I could give you a digital middle finger, but I can't. Fuck you. Racial stereotyping, Jim Crow. Okay, Jim Crow is not a person. It's rather just a stereotypical shows that really just was racist and intended for white people to laugh at black people. So if you see Jim Crow, just automatically think racist. Okay, proposal to resolve the issue of slavery. Once again, compromise of 1850. This is what pussies would do. They would just push back the issue of slavery. So now we have like a whole shit ton of compromises that US students need to memorize. Fuck that. Fucking pussies. Oh my fucking god. Fuck you, pussies. Proposal to resolve the issue. Once again. Oh my fucking god. Just end slavery. Kansas, Nebraska end. Once again, if we ended slavery before, we would have this fucking problem and shit. This was also known as Bloody Kansas because people tried to do popular sovereignty, which is basically what people would basically vote for if the state that they lived in was whether slavery, like free or slavery. And it was known as Bleeding Kansas because people obviously killed each other. Oh my god. Okay, this overturned the Missouri Compromise, okay? As you can see, Bleeding Kansas. Okay, period 5. Proposal to resolve the... Okay, finally the pussies are finally thinking, oh, maybe slavery is bad. Maybe we should just fucking end it right now. Aha, okay, Dred Scott. I just want to say that Dred Scott is a victim. He was fucked, basically. This is what the Supreme Court ruled. Basically, they said African Americans are not citizens. They're not people. They're property. And the compromise before was unconstitutional. And basically, Congress is a fucking pussy. Okay, let's go. The Republican Party, remember, Republican raised tariffs. Republican raised tariff. Rape. Republican raised. Okay, started as a sectional party in the North and Midwest, made up of many former Whigs. Remember, Whigs were opposed to Andrew Jackson. They were the rival political party that was formed against Andrew Jackson. The election of 1860, Lincoln ran on a free soil platform. Now, the election of Lincoln is important because the Southern people were fucking so pissed that he won, even though they didn't even fucking vote for him. So once they thought about that, they were like, hey, maybe the system of, electing is just fucked up. So that led to the Civil War. Civil War, Emancipation Proclamation. So this was trying to make sure that the northern part of America would receive help from British and France. Because in Britain, slavery was banned. So by banning slavery, Britain would help only the North, not the South. Impacts changed the purpose of the war from just... Fuck, I don't even fucking remember. Okay, it's basically like, instead of just raping the South, just freeing slaves. That was the changes. Increases in black soldiers joining the military helped keep Europe from aiding the South. Yep, what I said before could be compared with the Gettysburg Address or the 13th Amendment. So why did the North win? Well, they had military, leadership, effective strategies, key victories, and more resources and people. Okay, 13th Amendment, abolished slavery. South tried to get around it with sharecropping, which is kind of, understandable, since South, they based their agriculture, their economy primarily on slavery. They needed that. So sharecropping was basically another form of slavery. Okay, freemen worked on farms and exchanged labor for using land and housing. Half of their crops were typically given to the landowner. Sharecroppers had to borrow $1 to get started. Local stores get loans at high rates. Crop lending system, I don't even fucking know what that is. Radical Republicans, Thaddeus Stevens, Charles Sumner. Sought to increase power in the South and increase rights for African Americans. Thank you. They were not successful because Reconstruction ended the Compromise of 1877. Oh my fucking god. I told you. Compromises are for fucking pussies. Oh my fucking god. Look at this shit right here. Compromise of 18... Why the fuck would you just do compromise when you could just fucking end it? Oh my god, bro. Okay, Reconstruction is basically reconstructing the South so that slavery, prejudice will not happen again. And it's also like punishing them, which is, we can see that again when after World War I, when Germans were heavily punished. 14th Amendment granted citizenship to African Americans that were born in the U.S., provided equal protection of the laws. 15th Amendment provides suffrage for all adult males, and this is when feminists come in. Impact of those amendments are women rights groups. They were split. They were like, hey, should we support for blacks or women? Others, they did not support it until women were granted suffrage. What a bitch. Okay, other impacts of the amendments. Rights were stripped away from African Americans over time. Segregation, once again, Jim Crow. Remember that Jim Crow, racist. Plessy and Ferguson's, after the court case, once again, the Supreme Court was a fucking pussy, separate but equal. In other words, black people were segregated. However, they were equal under law, even though they were segregated, which is hypocritical. Okay, violence, KKK. Lynching, which is basically hanging, local political tactics, poll taxes, literary tests, and grandfather clauses. Basically, all these things help white people, but hinder black people from voting, which just sounds like a typical racist white bitch. In the future, period 8, these amendments will be used to uphold civil rights. Okay, I'm done. God damn.